You're listening to Bush Radio. Bush Radio.
Your real talk radio.
Reading is feeding the mind. Feed the mind. Go to udarabooks.com. Udara Books. Feeding the mind.
Adaobi, you wrote in your recent article that while working in the north-central zone of Nigeria in 2017, you visited the Mambila Plateau. What kind of work takes Adaobi to the Mambila Plateau?
Thank you, Edmund. At the time, I was working on a baseline survey for women artisanal miners in Nigeria. So it required visiting the different mining sites in Nigeria. The one in Taraba was one of them, and it's located in the Mambila Plateau. So that took me there.
In your article, you said the Mambilla part of the country is the highest plateau in Nigeria, boasting of the highest mountains in the country and one of the highest in West Africa, with the most of its villages situated on the hill. In your story, you said this scenic place is also the coolest region in the country. Driving into this hilly region with its deep gorges, I am enchanted by the panoramic views it presents. Are you saying that the Mambilla is a beauty?
I don't think I've seen a more beautiful, as in a comparable place in Nigeria. Let me just say that it's something I haven't seen before, and to think that that part of the country actually exists, and most of us are completely unaware of it. It's sad.
Can you imagine the global competitive edge in tourism the Mambilla can provide?
You can't beat it. It's got all the potentials you need. It's almost like this doesn't exist in Nigeria. But for some reason, I do not think that the state government has taken it seriously to take advantage of the values that it presents for the economy and, for tourism, like you said.
The Mambila Plateau is very rural, right?
Not exactly rural. I think it's a blend. You have the urban-rural thing within every other 5 or 10 minutes that you go to anywhere in Nigeria. But it's quite distant from the state capital. For example, from Jalingo to the Mambila Plateau took a 7 hours drive.
Let's go back to your write-up.
Okay.
You said, and heading towards Gimbu in Saudana local government area, sights of women working in Nigeria's only tea plantation will catch your eyes. Then the big, well-nourished cows in the company of their herder will not miss your sight. Perceptively, one will rightly guess that the Mambila Plateau is a community of herdsmen and farmers who make their livelihood through food crop and livestock farming. Can you tell me more about this environment?
It's unbelievably green. Almost every part of it is green. The tea plantation was it for me. I mean, I haven't seen one before, but visiting this part of the country gave me the opportunity to see a tea plantation. The Mambila Plateau has a population of farmers and then a population of livestock farmers, which are the Fulani herdsmen mostly. I visited the mines. The mines are not necessarily in locations where you see them while driving on the road, but it's an important part of the landscape in the Mambila Plateau.
You talked of well-nourished cows. How do you mean?
I haven't seen cows bigger than that in Nigeria. They're so big, so fat. I mean, I think they eat well, they are well taken care of, so you can imagine the rest.
In such an environment that is green, how come people fight?
Well, I think people shouldn't fight if we understood ourselves or if they understood themselves. But in the case of Mambila Plateau, in my article, I also mentioned the element of the miners, the illegal miners, who have occupied a certain part of the area, which is called the Mayosina, and they made a settlement out of it. One of the things I learned from interacting with people is that it becomes a hotspot for violence and conflict amongst the indigenes because particular tribes claim ownership to the land while the other ones are taking advantage of an opportunity given to them to use it. So as a result, there have been ethnic clashes.
You said in your work, also emerging from the roadside, sometimes in the community, are young men who look like they just walked out from a freshly dug grave. These are the fortune seekers, otherwise known as illegal miners, who make their living through subsistence mining. Adaobi, you said freshly dug grave.
In that part of the article, I was referring to the miners themselves. So part of the process of sapphire mining, which is what they do to be able to get the sapphire stone, is that they dig and try to see whatever treasure they can find. And when they dig, it's beyond 6 feet digging. It's sometimes more than 20 feet. It's huge, and it's so deep that sometimes some of them are buried, by the sand while digging.
And you said that the livelihood processes and the Mambilla were not complementary, resulting in land degradation, the creation of gaping holes which trapped the unsuspecting cows and people among others. Owing to these characteristics, the Mambilla appeared to be potentially a hotspot for conflict. Why is the state not seeing this from Adaobi's perspective?
I wouldn't be able to tell that the states are not seeing it from my perspective. I'm sure they are, but when it comes to conflicts like that, it's challenging for any other person. So I wouldn't expect it to be less challenging for them to manage. Sometimes part of the people in leadership would want to also protect their interest and the interests of their people. It all boils down to our ability to be able to step back and try to see things from the other person's perspective and have a middle ground and broker peace.
Bush Radio.
Bush Radio. Bush Radio.
Bush Radio.
Your real talk radio.